One of the biggest talking points of right-wing prohibitionist media over the past few years has been high-potency cannabis that's flooding today's streets. And it's not your grandfather's marijuana. It's dangerous. THC levels need to be capped. Something, something, something. Save the children. Save the world. Cannabis-induced psychosis was even successful in using as defense for a murder case here in California. The last place anyone would have thought said defense would even hold up. But while previous studies have reported wide ranges of psychosis incidences among cannabis users, a new analysis performed by a statistical geneticist from the University of Lausanne and her team scrutinized 162 high-quality studies involving 201,000 participants. And the study found that just 0.05 of the full class of participants may have been at any risk at all experiencing a psychotic episode. Science for the win. Can we get a round of applause for that, or an air horn or something, man?
There we go.
Beat back these reefer madness people. We need some of these studies actually negate something there. All right, so Benzinga's Maureen Meehan this morning reported that cannabis exposure and its link to psychosis have long been a topic of scientific inquiry, although there are still significant gaps in understanding why and how prevalent these episodes are. A new comprehensive analysis aggregating data from over 201,000 participants seeks to clarify this relationship. While individual studies have previously reported a wide range of psychosis incidences among cannabis users, from as low as 1% to as high as 70%, this new analysis narrows it down. Meehan said that the new study published June 3rd in Nature Mental Health suggests approximately 1 in 200 users may experience a psychotic episode, making it 0.5%, characterized by symptoms such as hallucinations, delusions, and paranoia. The study notes that no research yet has been synthesized and compared to the findings obtained from different study designs and populations. Historically, studies have suggested that genetic factors, particularly genes associated with schizophrenia, might explain why some cannabis users develop psychosis while others do not. This new analysis finds that young adults, women, and those with pre-existing mental health conditions such as bipolar disorder are more at risk than others. The research team, led by statistical geneticist Tabea Scholar from the University of Lausanne in Switzerland, and her colleagues scrutinized 162 high-quality studies for their analysis. Most of the 201,283 participants had been part of an observational studies assessing the experiences of recreational cannabis users and looking for links to demographic, social, and genetic factors. The rates of cannabis-associated psychosis varied significantly across study types. Observational and experimental research reported high rates of 19% and 21% respectively, while medicinal cannabis studies reported a lower rate of around 2%. The availability of these three distinct lines of evidence provide a unique research opportunity as their findings can be synthesized, be inspected for convergence, and ultimately contribute to more evidence-based harm reduction initiatives. Scholar and her colleagues wrote, adding that not every individual exposed to cannabis is equally at risk. The bombshell, at least in my opinion, was the fact that this analysis found no significant association with the genes COMT and AKT1, the genes that have previously been implicated in the interaction between cannabis-related psychosis and genes. So according to this particular study's results, you're not genetically inclined to experience pot-induced psychosis just because similar illness in your family existed before you. The researchers said that this suggests the need to reconsider these genetic links. The study also found that early and frequent cannabis exposure did not increase the risk of psychotic episodes, though warned that daily use could still elevate long-term risk of developing psychosis. Some individuals appear to be particularly sensitive to adverse acute effects of cannabis, notably young individuals with pre-existing mental health problems and individuals exposed to high levels of THC, concluded the authors. Future studies should therefore monitor more closely adverse cannabis-related outcomes in vulnerable individuals, as these individuals may benefit most from harm reduction efforts. Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I do not know if Chad O'Melia, the poor guy who was murdered in Thousand Oaks, California by his girlfriend, Bryn Spaker, if his family has any shot of appealing the ruling of her acquittal that largely drew upon previous studies' support of reefer madness studies. But I hope that it does help, and I hope it can come bring a little bit more closure in the future to his family that have to deal with that death, right? Because we all know that mental health issues are complex, personal, and nothing to joke about. And hopefully, as we continue to learn more from a traditional scientific viewpoint about the effects, both good and bad, that cannabis has on the human body, that we can continue putting to bed a lot of the paranoia drummed up by right-wing pundits and folks looking for the latest boogeyman as a scapegoat for their own moral shortcomings. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High at 9 News. Hear from the rest of you guys. What do you guys think about this one?
I think this is amazing news, Rico. I like this story. This is just going to proving everything that we have already thought and speculated on previously. The fact that
I agree, man.
Yeah, that people are not prone to just to this craziness.
Did you say scientifical?
I can say scientifical, yes.
No, I meant Rico.
I did not say scientifical.
Okay.
And scientificalistic.
Scientificalistic.
That's the cousin of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right?
That's what I was going to say, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So from a traditional scientific viewpoint, way to merge those words together. But,
I think, as we say in NorCal, hella scientific.
Oh yeah, hella scientific.
Yes.
That's right. That is right.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think with that case where the woman pled cannabis-induced psychosis, no matter what the ruling is, that they're going to be able to go back and do anything about the way in which that case was ruled. I wanted to say, well, women are crazy anyway, but I know Jamie would kick me through the screen and say, "Stop, Bryn. Maybe your woman is crazy." But
I'll say it for you, Yarrow.
But this idea that people are drawing on that as a defense. I mean, we've covered like 3 or 4 of those stories here on the High at 9 News. One, a guy was trying to open the door to an airplane.
That was mushrooms. That was mushrooms. The guy that was opening the door on the airplane.
It was mushrooms and cannabis, and he had some other things, and going back 4 or 5 days as recollection might serve. I just shout out to all the defense attorneys going back for that archival reefer madness for their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you guys remember Dan White's Twinkie defense, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I shot a gay supervisor because I ate too many Twinkies.
Unknown caller.
Twinkie-induced psychosis, dude.
Yes, exactly. What are your thoughts on this, Jamie?
Well, I think that Twinkies can cause psychosis.
Okay. Fair.
Just like any overdose of any substance that should be controlled but isn't, like sugar.
Like sugar. Yeah, sugar is a bad thing. Bad sugar.
And I imagine that in some people, cannabis might cause psychosis. But what I want to know, because we don't have scientific evaluations being done right now because cannabis is federally illegal, people are making claims and have been making claims because we see all this bunk science that comes around, and then this is the argument, save the children, it causes psychosis, all of that. Until we have real research going on, I think whether the news is in this direction or that direction, we've got to wait and see what actually comes out, because maybe we find out that everybody with type O blood has psychosis or whatever, or somebody on birth control or somebody who used a condom, they're going to get psychosis. I don't know. But I just
man. Damn it.
I agree.
Damn it.
That's why I have kids too.
Put it here first. Condoms lead to psychosis.
Condoms lead to psychosis. I can't wait to.
And it's not bunk science. It's boof science.
It's poof.
Okay. But it is true that condoms cause psychosis.
It is true that condoms
I know that
cause
for a
psychosis. Man.
Well, you're not supposed to put it over your head because it can cause suffocation too at the same time.
That was a double-blind study.
Oh boy. Oh my God, you guys.
I'm on the pill. Okay, yeah. I'm good.
Apparently so. Man, you guys. I mean, don't Jamie? Don't we have enough anecdotal evidence from people using cannabis for centuries upon centuries, on top of at least from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and after the millennium? I mean, people have been consuming cannabis at a similar rate, and we haven't had these stories of psychosis.
Well, and then what I want to know is, when they have psychosis, did they test positive for meth or fentanyl or bath salts, or
what about spice or K2?
Or spice, exactly. I'm just skeptical about, and in all seriousness, Jason, I'm just skeptical about all the right-wing conspiracy theories, because I think
it's a left-wing conspiracy theory, Jamie.
Come on, Jamie. It's a chicken wing conspiracy theory, okay?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that. It's a chicken wing conspiracy theory.
I love that.
Yeah, Laura Ingraham and the Fox News crew. Laura Ingraham was the dude, Sean Hannity, and Bowtie dude. What's his name?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. Patriot.
Yeah, those are the prime suspects pushing this reefer madness paranoia bullshit.
Whenever it's fear mongering, it's always the right doing it.
Stop it. The left does plenty of fear mongering too.
What are we afraid of?
Climate change.
Back to the story. What I've noticed in my own just personal experience, this is just anecdotal, it's not science, is that I've seen that have had psychotic or schizophrenic breaks on cannabis or psychedelics. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them has had early childhood trauma. Also, nearly every one of them had really incredibly uptight Christian parents. I think a lot of what happens is that you're programmed the people that you love with a huge ration of bullshit, and then you get into these substances, getting messages that arise internally that are completely at odds with everything you've ever been told and trained by these people, again, that you love because they are your parents. And it sets up this cognitive dissonance. It sets up this vibration in their brain that causes them just to unmake themselves.
You know
I've never
what?
seen anybody who's raised without a religious background go crazy. And again, it's just in my personal experience.
You know what? That's an interesting point you bring up, Mathieu St. Germain, because I have a friend who
no, you don't. You don't have any friends.
I have this one friend, and their parents as a child were always like, whatever you do, don't lie. Like our trust is the most important thing, and da 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 da.
Yep.
Right? Okay. And I know he felt extremely lied to by his parents when he found out that Santa Claus wasn't real, and the Easter Bunny wasn't real, and all of these other different things. And he was just like, why is it okay for them to lie to me about this? But yet that's not considered a lie.
But Jason, we cover the news on this show, and to date, I don't know that there's ever been any definitive evidence that the Easter Bunny exists. Like, dude, I don't know why you're trying to ruin everybody's Monday. Is this like fuck everybody's Monday?
Monday is
like,
the most. Monday's the most important day of the week, and so it's best to step off on the right foot.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but you are not going to start denigrating. Look at there, right there to my left is true.
The Easter Bunny?
The Easter Bunny does exist.
What?
Look at that. That looks like a bear. That looks more like a bear than a bunny, bro.
Only the right would attack the Easter Bunny.
Hold on a second. That to me looks like a bear that maybe is trying to identify as a rabbit.
Dude, look at the carrot.
Just because there's a carrot, like that's just trying to trick you, bro. It's trying to trick you.
Now you're fat shaming.
I'd like to take a quick time out to say days of the week aren't real, you guys. They're totally made up.
Days of the week aren't real. And on that, we're going to roll into a commercial, and we're going to be right back.